Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, I don't know if go ahead and take a seat. I don't know if it gets any better than that, but Kelly will sing the national anthem and fly over here in Madison, but we're going to do our best going forward. So ladies and gentlemen, honored guests and distinguished veterans, good morning and welcome to the dedication ceremony of our Veterans Honor Park here in America's hometown, beautiful Madison, South Dakota. Together we gather to pay tribute to the brave men and women who have selflessly served our nation. This park stands as a testament to their sacrifices, courage, and unwavering commitments to our freedoms. As we begin, I'd like to recognize the folks whose steadfast support has made this day possible. I think they're sitting over here to our right, many of them are. The planning committee is John Anderson, Danny Frisby-Griffin, Ann Fritz, Paul Hansen, Wes Hubrud, Roy Lindsay, Skip Martin, the late Bob Moore, Chance Ragsdale, Gary Reinecke, Dick Stearns, Ted Sterling, Kim Verhey, and Matt Westall. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. We also have a few folks to recognize with a special thank you. Jerry and Sue Larson donated this beautiful piece of land for the monument. I think we can all say that that's really changed this area. So please give them a round of applause. Tony Lynn Rustand and Roush Monuments for all their help with the granite coordination and design. So we all know Paul Hansen would not have been able to come up with something this beautiful. And all of you for your contributions to make this beautiful honor park a permanent place of honor and remembrance for generations to come. We are honored to have with us some remarkable leaders who share our dedication to honoring our veterans, and they will all provide remarks shortly. But before we do that, I'd like to recognize and ask you all to provide a warm welcome to Medal of Honor recipient Michael Fitzmaurice. Thank you for joining us here, sir. As I'm standing here, I can't help but think of all the sacrifices made by our servicemen and servicewomen. This park will serve as a gathering place for reflection, remembrance, and celebration of our heroes. It is a reminder for generations to come of the bravery and dedication that our veterans exemplify. With uncertainty around the world, conflicts escalating, and nations at war, it is even more important to take this moment to express our gratitude, honor their legacy, and commit to always remembering those who have fought for our freedoms. Thank you for being here today as we open this meaningful tribute with the invocation by Post 25 Chaplain John Skip Martin.
Let's all bow our heads. Oh God, we thank you for the flag of our country and for all that it represents. We give thanks for the men and women who have served with honor under that flag, and in many cases have made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of it. And as we gather here today to dedicate this hallowed ground, we ask a special blessing for our beloved comrades, both past and present, who have served their nation with pride. Their names are forever inscribed on these walls for all to see. We give thanks to those who have worked hard over the last months and even years to make this park a reality. Their hard work, dedication, and patience has resulted in an addition to this community that makes us all very, very proud. Now, as we proceed with this ceremony, we ask, Lord, that you bless all who are here today to participate in this program today. All this we humbly pray in the name of Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Skip. Please welcome the City of Madison's Mayor, Roy Lindsay, who's also, as I would note, member of American Legion Post 25 and member of the VFW Post 2638.
It's an honor to stand before a crowd this large today and dedicate this Veterans Honor Park. On behalf of myself and the great citizens of Madison, the VFW, and the American Legion, I welcome you to this dedication of the Madison Veterans Honor Park. Not everyone knows someone who gave their all in service to this great nation, but everyone knows someone who has served this great nation. This Veterans Honor Park is dedicated to all who have served and all who have given their all. This vision began in 2017, and thanks to the dedicated committee members, Jerry and Sue Larson, the VFW and American Legion, and supporters at large, we stand here today to dedicate and celebrate all that it stands for.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, we'll introduce Subsequent Attorney General Marty Jack.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I recognize I'm the lightweight in this lineup, so I promise you I'll be brief. But it's important to recognize what we're honoring, and that's our veterans and their loved ones. I want to focus on the where and the why. The where is so important. When you look at this beautiful property, we've already thanked, and we need to thank again Jerry and Sue Larson. It's a beautiful setting for Veterans Pathways. The where is Madison. If you look at all the amazing things this community does, whether it's Dairy Queen's Miracle Wish Day, whether it's the law enforcement appreciation where the community lets a sheriff tase a banker, or it's where the home of DSU is. And I can tell you, from being an electrical engineer from mines, I'm so proud that DSU is leading the nation in technology and cyber. And this community sends its leaders to the legislature, whether it's former Majority Leader Russ Olson, whether it's Crabtree, you lead from the front. I do have a little bit of a beef with your MC Crabtree. This this last year, he and I agreed we were going turkey hunting. Olson wouldn't let us hunt his tame turkeys, so we decided we'd go to the farthest reach of northwestern South Dakota. And I think because of hunting skills, this upcoming Thanksgiving, my family is going to enjoy a dry, wild turkey that ate a lot of sage and pine needles. And Senator Crabtree's family is going to enjoy a butterball. But it's this community that always stands out. It does so much. And this is a glowing star of that impact that you make. The why is simple but so important. The why is our veterans. It's the sacrifice, the dedication that they give for our freedoms. I grew up in a family not getting to know my grandfather. My mom was raised without him because of the impacts of World War II. These different veterans that are here, their families, the other veterans that are recognized on the pathway, they've done tremendous sacrifice. And I think it's important that we recognize their sacrifice and the loved ones. With that, may God bless our veterans, their families, all of you in our great state. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Marty, for joining us. And I'm a little disturbed that you shared my hunting failure there on the turkeys. But good hunting, partner. With that, we will open it up to U.S. Representative Dusty Johnson. What an incredible location this is. This is not the first event I've been at here. Dave and Daryl had both reminded me that I'd been here a couple of times before to honor some Vietnam veterans and some Vietnam-era veterans. And that was a meaningful experience. They're always meaningful experiences. We've done that, 70 or 80 of them across the state. As I was driving over from Mitchell this morning, one of those 70 or 80 stood out most clearly in my mind. It was a hot day in Mobridge 3 years ago, and people were sharing their stories about coming home. Mark shared a particularly poignant story. Now, Mark was a big boy. He was 6'6" if he was an inch. But that didn't keep 4 idiots from jumping him at the Oakland airport. So Mark was coming home as Class A's. They cracked 2 ribs. They broke his jaw. As you can imagine, the crowd was a little taken aback by Mark's story. Almost nobody seemed to have known it before that day. It's hard to imagine that people would have that much disrespect, that much hate for folks in uniform. It was a different time. After the ceremony, I had asked Mark if the ugliness of that experience had caused him to be embarrassed about being a soldier or embarrassed to be an American. And he said, hell no. Why would I be drawn to their weakness rather than drawn to the greatness of my country? Gang, I know that there are some folks who dwell on America's deficiencies, and we've got some. We're not perfect. But Mark in Mobridge knows what you know and what I know, and that is that this is the greatest country in the history of the world. And it is this spot that is a testament to and a reminder of the fact that one of the great sources of that greatness is that there are patriots in Lake County who are willing to wear the uniform and pledge to protect our country. It's a beautiful thing they have done, and it's a beautiful thing that Madison has done to remind us that there are patriots who will continue to be drawn to the greatness of this country. Thank you. Well done, Dusty. I had a chance to join him here at one of those ceremonies, and I know Dusty has traveled the state honoring our veterans, and I can tell you those are emotional ceremonies, and I can tell you they're emotional for him as well. He speaks from the heart when he talks about our veterans. Next up is U.S. Senator, former Governor, Mike Rounds, who's a huge champion.
We created a field of white crosses with duplicated dog tags for every soldier who died, so families could take the cross and dog tags of their loved ones home. We had fireworks and music. We had the Beach Boys, Steve Miller Band, Creedence Clearwater, and South Dakota's own Red Willow Band. We had more than 32,000 people come to town to honor and recognize our veterans. Now, while the celebration itself was truly unforgettable, I understood the impact a few years later when my late wife Jean and I were attending the annual Christmas concert at St. Anthony's Catholic Church in Holden. During the intermission, I felt a tap on my shoulder. I turned around and in a quiet voice, a woman said, "Thanks for giving my husband back." As you can imagine, I was pretty much caught off guard. She went on to explain that her husband had served in the Vietnam War and upon returning home, he had never been quite the same. You see, war had changed him, and not for the better. As his wife, she knew what he needed even more than he did. She knew that he never received the gratitude that he deserved for such a big sacrifice that he had made. He had also never taken the time he needed to process and to grieve all the things that he had experienced during the war. So she persuaded him to come to the pier on that September day in 2006 and participate in the Vietnam Memorial Celebration. As a part of the tribute, we arranged for an appearance on the Vietnam Traveling Memorial Wall, a moving model of the permanent memorial in Washington, D.C. As that Vietnam veteran who had to be convinced by his wife and his family to attend the event, looked at the wall and saw the names that he had lost, the names of the friends that he had lost. He realized that he needed help, the kind of help that gave him his life back. And to make that evening in Holden even more memorable, I got a second tap on the shoulder from the veteran himself, thanking me for giving him his life back. I told him that I played a very, very small role in that profound impact that he had received, and that the people who truly made that difference were the 1,900 volunteers who not only helped to build it, but who were there helping on that particular day, and who were making a commitment to help these veterans in the future. You see, what this is all about, the memorial itself is a place that becomes a catalyst so that other veterans, when they come and they see, not only do they feel the respect that they deserve, but they also recognize in many cases that there are lots of other people here that want to help them. My message to you is your work is not done. It has begun. And with the dedication of the ceremony today, please recommit yourselves to help every single one of those veterans to reclaim the life that in some cases was limited because of the war that they fought in. Today, I thank all of you for being here. Please carry the cause forward. Say thank you to those veterans and share their story with the next generation. And may the good Lord continue to bless every one of these veterans, their families, this country, and all of you gathered here. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator, for those great remarks and for all your work out in Washington, D.C. When this date was set, the planning committee reached out and they wanted us to reach out to the congressional delegation. That text went out right away. My text went to Lake County native John Lauk. I also knew the time constraints that was going to come on U.S. Senator John Thune with his new role in the Senate. And I was just hopeful that there might be a chance he'd be able to make it work. And it's just fantastic that all three are able to join us, but especially with the demands of leading the U.S. Senate the way that John Thune has to right now. So please give a huge welcome, U.S. Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
It is great to be in Madison. Would you rather be here than just about anywhere else? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And it's an honor to be with so many of us here who have, so many of you who have served our country with such distinction and honor. And as has already been mentioned, Michael Fitzmaurice, great to have you here. It's an honor, as always. I think everybody here probably knows his story. A powerful, incredible story of summer, and this was an incredibly well-planned event, and obviously incredibly well-planned memorial. And the names up there of those who have served, and the space that's there for those who will serve in the future, is a reminder to all of us of what it takes to keep our country safe and free. And those who have come before, those veterans who served World War I, to World War II, to Korea, to Vietnam, to the Persian Gulf, Iraq, Afghanistan, the War on Terror, all of our service members are people who have answered the call to duty gladly and with willingness to put their lives on the line for their country and for their fellow countrymen. So we are grateful to them today for their service on this Veterans Day. We celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States Army. Also a great moment to remember, and we think in the future of those that are going to continue to serve in roles that are important to our freedom and to our democracy. I want to say too a special thanks to not only our service members but also to our veterans, but also to their families. I think sometimes it gets underappreciated the toll that serving in the military takes on family members. And there are so many here, loved ones, that are represented in this audience today. We thank you for your willingness to serve our country as well. And when that loved one goes off and gets deployed to another part of the world, there are things that have to happen here back at home. And the worry, the constant worry. I remember some of you know my dad was a combat pilot in World War II. My Uncle Gibb also was in the Navy at the time, happened to be at Pearl Harbor when it was hit on January 7th in 1941. And my mom, or I should say my grandmother and my grandfather didn't know for days whether he was alive or dead. Back then it was hard to get news and information, not so much today. But there was that constant worry and concern and anxiety that comes with family members. So we say a big thank you to all of you today. To the VFW, the American Legion, the members of the Madison community who invested in, both financially, with time, into the planning, the design, and just the construction of this beautiful, beautiful site here. Thank you. It doesn't happen easily. It doesn't happen by happenstance. It happens because there are a lot of people who care enough about their community, about their veterans, to make sure that something like this stands now as a monument and a symbol forever of the courage and the heroism of those who have served our country. So we say thank you to all of you. I know that it took some time. There was, I think, a flood in Madison not long ago that slowed things down a little bit. We had road construction, I think, that had a little bit of an impact on it. Obviously a pandemic and the supply chain issues that came out of that pandemic. But it is done, it was beautiful, and it honors our veterans and their families in a way that nothing else really could. So I just say thank you, Mayor, to you, the community of Madison, for the chance to be here today to honor our veterans and to have this serve as a reminder again, as has already been mentioned by my colleagues. And Mike and Dusty and I have the privilege of representing South Dakota in Congress. And I can't tell you what a great privilege and honor it is to represent a state that has always punched above its weight when it comes to military service and military duty. South Dakota has always answered the call, and this right here is indicative, symbolic of that. So we say thank you, and we just are grateful on behalf of the great nation to all who have served and to all who are going to serve in the future. And it's a great reminder of what Ronald Reagan once said: freedom is always only one generation removed from extinction. It can't be passed on in the bloodstream. It has to be fought for and defended and handed down to our children to do the same. Or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and grandchildren what it was once like to live in the United States of America when men were free. We live in a free country, the greatest country in the world, not because of birthright or anything else, but because of the will, the courage, the determination, and the belief in freedom that makes this country unique in all the world. Well, thank you. Congratulations on this great accomplishment, and may God continue to bless our military men and women, our veterans and their families, and may He continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.